I'm Laurel, and we are here to share with you the news from around the AltSpace VR community. And now, here's Donna.
Holy cow, I think I've got myself together. Thank you so much, Laurel. Hello, everyone. I'm Donna McTee, here to help host another in our third year delivering you the news from around the AltSpace VR community. This is our last week celebrating Pride Month. We've reported on and checked out the Pride Parade floats and many meetups and special events throughout the month and hope that you have been too. As usual, it has been an eventful week, so let's get started. This past week, there wasn't actually a significant update to AltSpace VR, helping us relax and prepare for the bigger changes coming. Changes that include updating our worlds from Unity 2019 to 2020, moving toward the potential inclusion of Microsoft Mesh, just to name a few. Then late Friday, news arrived about the update for world building to Unity being put on pause. It left many people confused. We'll dangle the news. Sorry. We'll detangle. That will be better for all of us if we detangle the news in the world building section in a few minutes.
Now,
We do
was...
tangle some things too. Yeah.
Oh, everything is it's tangled, detangled, and finangled. Now, there was some interesting talk in the AltSpace VR Discord this week about world building still being in beta and the early access program. The discussion was whether or not world building should remain in beta and if the early access program should still be offered. Well, let's take these one at a time.
In 2019, when AltSpace VR began the remodel to prepare for Quest users, isn't it hard, like we lived through, but it's a little hard to remember back then, or it seems like so long ago. So many things have happened since then. But anyway, world building was at that time put into a beta program. The purpose was to make it a little more challenging for users to build worlds during the remodel. As you know, remodels are messy. And this one was indeed messy. Now that the remodel is over, and we have our new avatars and other fun features, should world building come out from the shadows and into the light? There are many opinions on this particular subject, and we're sure you have one as well. So that will be the topic of our discussion later in the show. So get your comments ready.
Now, the early access program was set up to allow only those eager to live the bleeding edge of development access to help test new features. Now, while it hasn't been used in the past few months, its purpose is still valid, allowing those who are willing to be test subjects to test new features. Okay, for guinea pigs, it's for us guinea pigs, the people who like being the guinea pigs, who like having experimentation. It's for us, and that's the truth of it. So, you know, I don't know. Would you be interested in testing new AltSpace VR features? Something we can talk about.
An interesting announcement targeted to world builders hit the AltSpace VR Discord this week, hitting a topic that we have at News and Updates, and we have long been promoting: copyrights and content theft.
As stated in the AltSpace VR terms of service, you may not use any content without the permission of the content and copyright holder. This applies to everything, be it photographs or graphics off the web or kits or templates from the Unity store or other stores, and shared kits and templates, everything. This must these must be used only with permission and within the specifications of that permission. Now it's called a license.
It seems that several users are using tools to crack open the Unity asset bundles to steal templates and kits, then sharing it with others who may have no idea how it was illegally obtained. This is called intellectual property theft, and it does, in fact, it violates not just the terms of service, but international copyright laws.
Now let's talk for a moment about the repercussions of such activity. First, if the content is shared and used without knowing that the content is stolen, that person could find themselves accused of the theft and potentially banned from AltSpace VR temporarily or permanently. Second, some of our most creative and prolific world builders don't want to play in a space where their amazing work is at risk of abuse.
Okay, well, that was me that went out. Was it just me or was it
Oh,
more people?
I'm still
I
here
lost
for a
I lost
change.
connection, but I didn't. I know I lost connection, but I didn't actually leave. Like I didn't have to re-enter. That was weird. Okay,
Okay, so we're at I.
so wow, that's a first. So you are all taught.
It's
We are all
contagious.
taught that stealing is wrong. Just because it is on the internet, just because it is in AltSpace VR, just because it is free or even shared, is not justification for stealing. AltSpace VR tells us all to obey this simple instruction. Please do not steal content, reverse engineer, or kit or template, or otherwise copy another's content without their consent.
And again, I want to be clear about this. It applies to events as well as world building. You cannot stream Netflix or Hulu or other movie streaming services into events or worlds, or use copyrighted YouTube videos without permission of the content creator, the content holder, the copyright holder. You can also cannot create events with the same name as television shows like game shows. Now, it sounds like there's much you cannot do, but the reality is we are some of the most creative people in the freaking world, right here in the AltSpace VR community. So bring that creativity on, bring it to the fore, create your own unique events, build your own wonderful communities around a subject that you're passionate about, and make it your own. Then you don't have to worry about any copyright infringement at all.
As usual, we bring you the news from around the AltSpace VR community every week. And in between, join us on our News and Updates Discord for updates and related news you can use to ensure you keep updated on what's going on within our AltSpace VR metaverse.
On to worlding. Now, there's much to cover here. So about 18 hours ago, AltSpace VR announced a change to world building updates for the new version of Unity. It was announced a couple weeks ago that all world building templates and kits will be updated to 2020.3 version of Unity.
Last
And
night,
then Go
Mhm.
for it.
Last night, AltSpace VR acknowledged that this was a big ask, especially as it involves, hang on, an even bigger task, a bigger ask coming soon. They reevaluated things and have informed world builders that if you haven't updated your kits and templates, please don't.
Now, we need to repeat this for clarity. If you've updated your kits and templates, you do not have to downgrade them or do anything. Okay. If you wish to update them, go right ahead. Okay. It's up to you. If you have not, do not upgrade because you'll have to do it again really soon. It's ominous, but let's look at what's really going on.
Looking ahead, AltSpace VR will be shifting fully into the SPI version of Unity. We've been discussing this before, that it adds faster and lighter rendering and less chance for motion sickness. Plus, they will be switching to Unity's Universal Render Pipeline, or URP, that will take AltSpace VR to a new level of not just performance, but also resolution and quality.
Unity's Universal Render Pipeline, URP, ERP, what a horrible acronym, features faster frame rates, shader graph support, new post processing effects, and best of all, improved speed and performance. And it will work across all headsets and devices that support Unity. That is big. That opens up all the different headsets that can have access here into AltSpace. It'll also mean faster updates to Unity as we're not jumping these huge leaps every 12 months or so to upgrade our templates and our kits.
They are also moving to, I want to say idiot, but
Oh,
that's not what the
no,
word
no,
is.
no, no.
It's called to
I
linear
don't,
color space. They are moving to non-idiot
yes.
linear color space. This is important because textures tend to save in gamma color space for the various tones and shaders. They use linear color space, which increases the accuracy of color tones, shifts, and rendering. This means improved color accuracy and more realistic scenes and lighting.
So get your world building motors. As rumors and clues say, July 16th is about when things will begin to move into the next phase in AltSpace VR development and world building. We expect the move from the older Unity versions to Unity SPI and URP will be much the same as the latest update. You'll need to add new modules to Unity and run your kits and templates through the update in Unity and then upload them again through the AltSpace VR Unity uploader that's being updated to support these new features.
Let's take a moment to talk about AltSpace VR Unity Uploader and Ancient I Won't Say's uploader for AltSpace VR. The AltSpace VR uploader 2 supports a new interface to hopefully make the process easier. It now supports batch uploading. It is more stable, automatically updates shaders when possible, manages updates in app, and includes tools to help you migrate old content. However, there is a known issue that conflicts with J's on Node. This makes it a struggle when uploading 3D models from Sketchfab into Unity or directly into Ancient I Won't Say's uploader. Was update Oh, sorry. I'm going to repeat this. This makes it a struggle when uploading 3D models from Sketchfab into Unity. Ancient I Won't Say's uploader was updated last week and works without any issues with Sketchfab, so consider that as an alternative until they update the official uploader.
Many are asking if these changes will impact MREs, the mixed reality extensions that allow us to add scripting and programming effects to our worlds. From from everything that we've seen so far, there appears to be no impact on MREs, though The Unity created costumes, kit items, and things that are attached to the MREs will eventually need to be updated when the move to the SPI and the the URP arrive. I like ERP. You know, if I got to call it something, ERP is good. SPI and ERP. There you go. It's our two new friends. We'll have more news on all of these exciting changes coming to AltSpace VR as it happens. So stay tuned.
Comfy Hoodie is one of our generous community members with a long history of sharing kits he's created with many people. He announced this week that he is working as fast as he can to update each of those kits and ask for your patience, as there are many of them. He now says that the kits that have already been updated are still good, and the ones he hasn't updated will be updated when the next announcement to do so happens. But the kit items will continue to work. If you have any problems, contact him. Same applies for all the shared kits and templates.
Anytime there's a change like this, those of us that are relying on shared kitlets, kitlets. That's another new word. Kits and templates. We're going to now call them kitlets. Uh, um, if you're relying on a kitlet, it just shakes me right to my core because we don't always know that the people who created those and shared them are going to update. So check that out. Now, the cool sky template has been driving us crazy for over a week. There's now a grid version, a gridless version, but it continues to be an issue because the floor level isn't right. The Altspace VR dev team is working on it, and they just a few hours ago said it'll be updated and fixed by Monday. We shall see.
Mm. On the AllSpace VR website, under the More tab, check out the template section. Templates are now split into AllSpace VR, Features, Mine, and Friends to show the templates shared with you. And remember to take a moment and read the shared content warning. AllSpace VR is not responsible for the quality nor copyright status of shared content.
We've been asked by the staff and the community to remind you again to keep world building discussions in the world building channels on topic. This should apply to also events and everything else in the Altspace VR Discord. So keep topics on topic, and it helps so many of us that are following a conversation. These are free. The big, really big pieces of information are frequently pinned to the frequently asked questions section, and other support information is also there in those channels. So check there first because there may be an answer in there.
Also, check out the newer channels under World Building in the AltSpace VR Discord. There is the World Showcase to show off your new worlds, discussions on the Unity uploader for Windows, and a separate discussion for the Mac version for tutorials, for MREs, and shaders and layers, a huge topic.
Now we have many world building events and activities that are here, even classes in Altspace VR. One of the Altspace developers, Jimmy, hosts his Building the Metaverse events on Tuesdays. Explore world building tips and techniques with Unity, the SDK, MREs, and others that are passionate about world building.
If you missed these events, they are not the only places to improve your world building skills. Look for the many workshops and classes, events on world building on the AltSpace VR events calendar. There are more opportunities than ever to learn about how to build worlds in AltSpace VR and to be inspired by world builders. Check out the events calendar for workshops, classes, and meetups for world builders, and the regular world tours with Daisy Shaw on weekends and the World Tours team that meets every Wednesday to tour amazing worlds. Each month, they challenge world builders to build on a theme, and this month, the theme is cold. Next week is the world tour where you will be taken to some of the coldest places in AltSpace VR. So appropriate for those of us currently living with extreme heat, expected to get hotter.
It's 104 degrees where I am right now, which is 40 Celsius, just letting you know. And it's supposed to go up for the next 2 days. Not happy. All right. More exciting. I can't wait for that cold world tour. We love highlighting your worlds, and we have some fun ones to bring to your attention. David VR has created two similar, they're related outer space worlds, Warp Drive and Wormhole. These have fun effects made with the Unity particle emitters, and they're seriously worth a visit.
We never know what creative world people will create, and Keely has done it. She created a magical mushroom land complete with holographic avatars acting as spirits. It's a wonderful fantasy experience.
During the Educators in VR Univirtual experience, Mark Jeffcock taught a week-long workshop on photogrammetry. How many of you were there? That was amazing. Oh, what the students did was incredible. Well, Carnivore, one of the amazing world builders here, who also teaches a class, he taught a class the following week in the Univirtual on intermediate to advanced world building techniques. He admitted he hadn't played around much with photogrammetry. So he dove into Mark's workshop, and this world is the amazing outer space island, other world planet thing he's created called Photo G World. You need to check that out. It is really amazing.
We love sharing all your worlds on our show. If you have built a world or know of one we're sharing here on the news and updates, please let us know in our Discord in the Share Your World in News channel. We have some fascinating worlds coming to share with you next week. Now it's time for a quick Discord news and a tip. First up, Discord updated this past week, and the updates are worthy of mention. They've cleaned up the desktop version dramatically and reduced CPU usage by more than 50% for video calls. Group video calls are now smoother, clearer, and more stable. Group video calls and chats can host up to 25 people now. So it's a beautiful alternative to Zoom fatigue, though it is still online conferencing.
It better in VR, right? So, but still, we love us some Discord. Discord is often used to share the AltSpace VR experience with the screen share feature. And some are streaming to Discord as well from VR from AltSpace events. You may now choose a preset quality level for the best viewing experience based on what you're doing to improve the file sharing to share AltSpace or gaming or text screens, PowerPoint, whatever it is that you're doing. So head to Discord and check out the latest updates to learn more about them.
Unfortunately, the I accidentally reported you on Steam scam is back on Discord, and we wanted to take a moment to explain it. When the scammer, there's a tongue tie, when the scammer comes into a server on Discord, they have the ability to message anyone or everyone in the server and send spam messages. And this one stirs up passion and starts conversations, which leads to scamming and more spamming as a phishing scheme.
The message may include apologies and warnings that they really don't want to get you banned and inviting more conversations. What they want is for you to friend them, then they can continue with the scam. These scammers are really, really good, and they even share screenshots of what looks like legitimate proof that they are who they are and evidence of the reports that have been filed against you on Steam.
If you receive a direct message that starts with, I accidentally reported you, do not respond. There will be the urge to respond, do not yield. On the desktop version of Discord, right click on the message and choose copy message link. Then go to dis.gd/report and paste in the link to report it. Now that's on desktop. Let's talk about Android. Tap and hold the message. A drop down menu will appear. Choose share and then copy to clipboard. Go to that same link, dis.gd/report, and add the message link there. For iOS users, you're not left out. Do the same, and you will see a report button. Use that and paste in the message link.
Now, block them immediately after you've done that. Seriously, block them, block them, block them, block them. No responses, as Donna so beautifully said. We hope that Discord is going to make it easier to report offenders like this, just like it's so nice and it's easier to do here in Altspace. But until then, we work together to keep Discord a safe space to play and share and supporting our Altspace VR events and activities. We'll be
We'll have
posting
more.
that link in our
Oh,
Discord. Sorry,
okay, sorry,
go ahead.
Laurel.
No,
We'll
go
have
for
more
it.
Discord tips for you as we move forward deeper into the summer of 2021. And if you have some Discord tips to share with our community, let us know after the show, or you could go to the News and Updates Discord, and we may share that tip here on the show. Now, on to Altspace events. There's so many events, so little time. With temperatures soaring across North America as well as in Europe and around the world, stay safe and stay inside and join us in Altspace VR for amazing events that rock our world every day.
The San Francisco Mina Gallery is back with a great real world. Yeah, they're opening up in San Francisco, with limited people, but they're opening up, and a virtual opening exhibit this week here in Altspace. Saturday, they host the opening with a live artist interview and a gallery cam celebrating Leon Angent. I'm going to mess this up. Savanu, Olympia Altmir's solo show. My apologies for mangling that. I had it earlier. It's a solo show with oil and mixed media painting that falls in the realm of imaginative realism and symbolism, they say. Now, there's also a photography exhibit by Gooch called Revamp that explores the San Francisco drag scene and its history. So check out the wonder and magic just an hour after the news and updates today.
Club Rendezvous is having its grand opening tonight as well. A fun musical club to hang out and dance the night away. They will be hosting a competition for prizes as well, so don't miss this tonight.
Guy hosts VR Democracy right after the show as well, with discussions on democracy issues, politics, and civic engagement. Now, democracy is not about Republicans and Democrats. It's about media literacy, critical thinking, freedom of speech and civil rights, public policy making, debate, and so much more.
Alta Sky hosts Unknown Ventures in a few hours that explores a beautiful world with abandoned areas, historical markers, and promises a paranormal experience. Alt Sky is also hosting a Cultures of the World event Tuesday that explores the different cultures of the world with audience participation discussing different cultures, food, languages, and more.
Dr. Abstract hosts Coincidences on Tuesday. It's a storytelling and comedy hour guaranteed to amuse. He promises a coincidence jam followed by storytelling of astonishing coincidences.
The Autism Group is hosting a VR world building event discussing world building from an autistic perspective when it comes to world planning, design, user experience development, and more. It's happening this Wednesday. There are academic discussions. These are academic discussions, but fascinating as it brings together people with autism and their families to discuss the challenges and rewards and support each other.
Thursday, the Dublin Smartphone Film Festival will be hosting a special showcase of curated films made on mobile phones for the movies show on Mobile Watch Party. And there will be a question and answer afterwards with the filmmakers.
Would you like to tell us about
Oh,
Chuck?
thank you. Chuck of Health Systems Chat is back on Thursday celebrating the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona and the Collective Intelligence Conference from high above La Sagrada Familia. It is a great discussion about the intersection of these two conferences and industries.
Simulation Nation host Jeremy Nickel, the founder of Evolve VR, the meditation and spiritual exploration company that thrives here in Altspace VR, thousands have passed through their mini events hosted by Jeremy, his father Tom, and about a dozen experts in meditation, mindfulness, yoga, and more. With Jeremy in the room, it is guaranteed to be a thoughtful and stimulating conversation with plenty of laughter.
Hmm. Check out all the nightclubs, the dances, the computer classes, the workshops, the open mics, talent shows, meditate, thought provoking discussions, all the fun going on here in Alt Space VR that throughout the week. Trust us, you don't want to miss a moment of it.
There is so much going on in the AltSpace VR community and calendar. This show, it would run for hours if we were to cover them all. We do our best to bring you the highlights from this ever growing community, and we are so glad you are here to share it with us.
All right, it is now time for our weekly discussion. Donna, what are we going to be talking about?
So, we mentioned earlier, world building at the beginning of the show, that there would be a discussion, that there has been discussion recently in the AltSpace VR Discord about whether or not world building should stay in beta. For those of us teaching AltSpace VR 101, leading world tours, or providing new user training, we're tired of telling people to go to their settings, general, and enable Worlds Beta to see the Worlds tab. Seriously, it should be on by default. Like, really. We'd also like to open the discussion to your feelings about the changes to updating and the upcoming world building improvements. Many of us are here in the audience. So, yes, many of us are here. All of us are here, actually. So, many of us here in the audience and on our news and updates team are world builders. So, let your thoughts be heard. Talk to us. The raise hand button is up, and we want to hear from you.
So let's talk world building. All right, first up, Joseph. You're on.
No, I would think it would also greatly depend on how, as well with what the oh my gosh, as well as with the stability. I forgot what it's called with the with the diagnostics in the room, um, especially especially with that. I really think that would also help with the world with the beta.
Okay, all right. So you're in favor of um, having the beta program,
Still have
having the worlds still having the beta, or not having it in beta?
Still having the beta. Well, really, I'm on the middle of it, really,
Why?
because like we're not like I cannot really. You know, we're not really sure if I don't know how to explain it though.
Well, you've built worlds, haven't you?
Mhm.
You've done some world building and
Yes.
easy and simple to use building.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you think that that should be available to everyone, or do you think it's still iffy? It's just too complex, or it's just too.
I mean, there should be a class like a little like in a way it's like 101, but it would be like a little bit of the basics of how to world build. So maybe I'm a little bit. That's like maybe for folks who are still like interested in doing the world building, but like it doesn't get that complex into like Unity and like just like the basics with the world building tools that Altspace
Yeah,
provides.
I agree. There used to be staff used to host regular world building basic introductions and events, and we've been asking them to do that again. But of course, pandemic has changed things. So educators in VR has done a little bit of it, and
Mhm.
others have stepped up to do it. But it's there. But yes, there needs. It's harder than you think it is to actually teach some of this to make it really interactive. But
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with that part completely. Good points. Thank you.
Hmm.
All right. It's kind of, you just kind of, it's hard to know. Karen, how about you?
Okay, well, I'm absolutely in favor of giving that to everybody because they, I mod for 101 and they come in there and it's like all of this stuff is like a giant mystery. And I know what that feels like when I first came in here. You want to know how to do stuff. And there's basically three levels of technology in AltSpace. One is just the basic world building, world editor. Just how do you get started with that? And everything's a mystery, right? And then the next thing would be using Unity, right, in the uploader. And then the third thing would be MREs. But they come in, we don't have time to go into any kind of explanation, right? And for a while, until AltSpace didn't want us to do it, I was doing a little world building thing afterwards just to get them started with, using the tools. And maybe 1, 2, 3 people would come, but they were really grateful for that. So it takes away, it's just like this big mysterious thing. And people say, oh, you do this and do that. And it's way above their heads. And I just think, why are they coming into AltSpace? Coming in here, probably not immediately for events. They're coming in because it's a VR social platform. And once they get in here and they see these worlds, they want to know how to build something. So why, I really don't understand why we're not offering them that functionality as soon as they come in here. And then and as usual, but it creates a problem for them because if they do try to start world building, then there's certain aspects that are not available to them because they don't have beta turned on. So yeah, I'm absolutely in favor of that.
Do you know why it went back into beta?
No.
So I don't know if the rest of you know. It was the remodel that in AltSpace with the avatars and also with the environments. So with the campfire and the other AltSpace environments, when they in order to keep AltSpace open, and they needed to have certain things under control. So they needed to be able to test frame rates fairly equally. They needed to check performance equally. So the idea is if everybody had whatever funky avatar that they wanted, that was going to be an issue. If all the worlds had all this customization, that was going to cause complications because it wasn't equal all the way across the board. So they put world building back into beta to make it a little bit frustrating for people to build so that they can have a little more consistency in going through with the remodel. And they also didn't want to support all the questions and all the issues dealing with world building because they were so busy developing the entire remodeling the entire platform for the Oculus Quest 1. And that was why it went in back into beta. But I think now it's been almost 2 years, and we've gone through all the horrors of these, stripped down avatars and things. We now have these funky avatars. Things are now moving towards with Unity, going forward through the ERP and the SBI. And so I personally think that it should be out of beta. But I just want to give you that history. It went in to allow developers to focus on the remodel. All right. Great points, though. I absolutely, totally agree, Karen, completely with you. All right. Back into here. Okay. Atomic Fur, you're up. Talking about world building.
You guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Just came in here and I caught the end of what you said. And I haven't been here.
We're
so it
we're
seemed like
talking
world
we're
building.
talking about how about whether or not AltSpace should change the world building from the beta program back into the public realm.
Well, I don't know much about. I don't know. I've tried to build a couple, and it's extremely hard to try to. There's no. I've been online to try to figure out how to do it. I've offered to pay people as a couple of ideas that I have as far as worlds, and there's not a lot of data out there to how to build it. So it's like there's really you go into some of these worlds and you see some really really cool environments, and you're like, how do I do that? How do I even get it to look remotely like that? And it's like extremely frustrating to try to even build something. And your information was of putting them making it hard on purpose because it's maddening trying to figure out how to do it.
Donna?
Okay, so I'd like to comment on a couple of things that you just said. I think you said you were new to AltSpace. Is that correct?
No, I've been here for a while, but I'm new to try
Okay.
to building worlds.
Okay,
but it
so a
extremely hard.
couple of things. There is, and just as I'm not a non-world builder because I have actually built a world that we've hosted close to 300 or 250 events in. Live Love just crossed our 500th event this past week, and most of them, more than half, have been built in a world that I built, and I'm not a world builder. But I will say there is an enormous amount of tools out there for you to learn about world building on many different levels. So, the first thing I would suggest to you, which I suggest often when I teach one on ones, is that you should start by going on the world tours. A couple of things. First of all, you will meet world builders because builders will be in their own worlds and you can ask them. Once you meet a world builder and become friends with them, you can have a conversation. And world builders are the most amazing people in alt space because they will provide you with information on all sorts of levels. The second thing, on a world tour, you'll meet other people who are also interested in world building, and it runs the gamut from never built a world to build my friend Ian's built 17 worlds. Okay. So you'll meet the gamut and you'll make friends with them. And a lot of the support for world building comes from within the community. Third thing, world tours meeting people there will get you connected with the Discord channels. If you're not familiar with Discord, you'll be able to have conversations with people about what it is, how to use it efficiently. And there is more information on Discord about people's questions, the answers to those questions, places for you to pose questions on like an unlimited number of fields with world building. So there's that. And I think that there's also, we've mentioned it many times, but maybe when you weren't here, that Unity, if you want to build outside of alt space, which should never be where you start. Most people start in alt space to understand the fundamentally about world building in alt space. But then Unity provides this amazing opportunity to build in Unity and then bring those worlds in. Unity has a free it is during the pandemic, they took it from behind a paywall, and you get to do it for free to learn the basics of world building, and that's offered by Unity. So I have to say, I think that I agree with you. There's things, I'm not a world builder. I don't find things easy. World builders find things really easy that I do not find easy, but there is so many resources for you to become more familiar with world building, and I really I encourage you to check them out. Sorry for my long-winded answer.
No, it's a beautiful what she said. But I want to point out a friend, somebody that we here on the team we know really well, um, it's part of the Educators in VR team, and she is very, very dedicated to cultural heritage preservation. And when the pandemic hit last year, she looked at this as an opportunity, and she said, I know nothing about world building, but I want to build the Athens Agora, which is a marketplace that no longer exists. There's just a shell of a foundation. And she says, I'm going to learn Unity because I want to do it. I don't want to hire anybody. I don't want to do it. This is my thing. And so she knew nothing. And she was several decades from when she did a little bit of software development and programming. She just sat down and did those free courses. And not only has she, in the last year, because it's been a year now, she not only did she build the Athens Agora marketplace that to scale. She did the research and went in and looked at archives and blueprints and all that stuff she could find online, and managed to connect with researchers and actually ask them questions. She did a one-to-one scale reproduction. It's not done yet, but it's visible, of the Athens Agora. She has now done a one-to-one scale of the Acropolis, which is amazing. She does tours through Educators in VR, once wild with those, and now she's creating the Olympiad, the original Olympiad, in honor of the Olympics that are coming up. And this is from knowing zero. She has done this, and so it's not hard, but there are people who want to do this themselves, and there's people who want to hire people to do these things. Trust us. Also, creating things in alt space is not very complicated. Creating things in Unity is not that complicated, though it can be. But I want to say something else that I think is really, really important to understand. If you have a good enough event that you want to host, you want to teach a class, you want to do something, the majority of the time, people do not care about the world you're in. They don't. If you are vested in finding the news here, We have this beautiful studio that Mark did with 3 screens, all and it's all decorated for Pride Month and everything. We have this lovely desk. Truth is, we hosted the news in absolute crap basic places. People still showed up in droves because they didn't care about the space. They cared about us. They cared about the news. They cared about the topic. And so some people build for an event first and then host the event. Those events rarely last. Those that start out with the basic templates that Altspace makes available and they focus on the content, they focus on what they want to do, and then they will learn what their audience wants and what they want to build, usually have greater success. Am I right, Donna?
Yes, I do
Mhm.
want to disagree with one thing though. World building is not hard for some people. It is hard for others. And I will say this because we don't all have the same gifts. And when somebody tells me, so I've been training people for almost 25 years. And if I trained somebody and said, this is easy, and they found it difficult, if somebody tells me something is easy and I find it difficult, I feel bad about myself because I can't do something. Can I tell you, some people make amazing worlds. I will never, ever, no matter how hard I try, build a world like Daisy or Taja or because it's not my gift. Everybody has gifts. However, when people come into my Live Love world, it's basic. It uses Altspace kits only, nothing else. It's not glamorous, but it does the trick. So just like Laurel said, it really isn't about the space. It's about what you do in the space. So that would be the only thing. And I would like to
That's
comment
true.
on the whole beta thing. That now my understanding of the beta might actually be different than world builders because, like I said many times, I am not literally a world builder. Although I counsel many, many people who want to host events on the few things that they can do with the world building tools to enhance their events. Okay, so I spent a lot of time just in that small world. But one of the things that I would like to see with, I don't care about the names or what they do, but we used to have the ability to, there was a process the worlds had to go through. So we understood when we went into a world where we have no access to the diagnostics that it passed a minimum sniff test. And that's what I miss. Okay, so if I'm going to go into a world that the image looks interesting and it's built by someone I like, and I go into it, I would think differently if I actually knew that the world was 345 megabytes. Okay, so I don't care that it's more than 10. I would like to know it's under 50. There's basic things I would like to know. And the whole beta thing let people know that worlds might not act and respond the way you want in your particular headset because they were maybe built by somebody who wasn't necessarily they want to build it for their home space. And I'll use an example. I don't think she'll mind. My friend Delcy, and I love Delcy. We do lots of things together. She is the most amazing interior designer. She gets paid by people to design spaces, but she's the one. She took me into her home the other day. It blows my mind. It is literally 300. I made her check. It's 345 megabyte. It has 80 kits and it is just insane. Now, for her home, that's great. When I see it on a list, I'd like to know that. So I don't know what the happy medium between all that is, but that's the important part, I think, for me of this discussion is that somehow we flesh between people who are world building just for fun and worlds that are more that set in when you look at the diagnostics sit inside a diagnostics. Does that make
I
sense, Laura?
agree. Yes, it does. It does. And I agree. So great point. Thoughts, Atomic Fire?
Yeah, I mean, I guess like she said, I appreciate the fact that she says that some things are easier than others.
Mm-hmm.
In the real world, I'm a teacher, but guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Building a world difficult. So, content and ideas and all that's great, but it's like you said, everybody has different gifts. I guess just like
Mm-hmm.
you said, learning where that information is probably the thing I need to just kind of work through.
Absolutely. And trust my friend, I told you did the Acropolis and stuff. If you asked her if she would be a great world builder if she was an artist, she would have said, "No effing way. I am the least artistic person on the planet." And yet, look at these wonderful things she's done. So, just like as a teacher, students tend to underestimate themselves. So don't underestimate yourself.
But
But we'd
I'm
love to
always
see
a
it.
yin
Yeah.
to her yang.
Yeah.
The other thing is, every one of us brings skills in. I don't want to
Mhm.
spend time world building because my skill set is in hosting events. My skill set is in producing events. So I take my time and focus it on the things that I'm passionate about. So I depend on world builders. So I'm all for world builders doing amazing things because I can't do
Absolutely.
amazing things unless world builders do. So that's the other amazing thing about Altspace is that there is a place for all of us because just like a physical community takes all sorts of different people, puts them together and builds a community, that's what we've done here in Altspace. And we
I
when we
love it.
when we bring what we do to and share that with the community together, we make a jigsaw puzzle. Every piece looks different, but we all fit together, right? So
Absolutely. And do check out the Educators in VR events if you haven't already. Love to have you check those out. And
as a teacher, that's a gold mine of
yeah.
resources right there. It will blow your mind.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Thanks.
All right. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Very ambitious. You're up.
Oh, sorry. Hello.
That's all right.
Okay, there's that
Hello.
thing clicking in front of me. Okay, so I totally understand about the world building from Atomic. I'm brand new to Altspace, but I've been in tech 20 years. And so me trying to learn world building, it's not intuitive. I know that you said that we should go talk to people and network. That I totally get. But I've been looking for a class or something that says this is what you do step one or this is what you do step two. It's just
Mhm.
not, I mean, I've tried to build in my own space and
Mhm.
I've clicked stuff in my own little, house, and it's just not into, I'm like, it's not as intuitive as Facebook where you go in and click a like button and click a share and then you like add a photo. It's not that intuitive.
Right.
So I've heard about Unity and I've heard about the other stuff, but I'm having trouble trying to fit them all together to have one big puzzle piece of step one, step two, step three, and then now you have a house, or now you have, a chair, or now you have
Yeah.
a blah. I'm not really
And
Educators
sure
and
how to pull that
yeah.
together.
Go ahead, Donna.
there used to be in Altspace, there used to be a 30-minute event that just gave you the basics. Told you, for instance, you cannot start a world in your headset inside VR. You have to start a universe and you have to start a world on the website. That would be critical information to know and would be provided in a world building 101 class. We are totally with you. That class should exist.
Mhm.
There are classes that exist, but you're right, most of them start at a level just above that. And so having that basic thing, we totally agree with you. And I think every one of us should put in a support ticket to say we have either it's us, or we keep getting asked questions about it, that we need Altspace to provide a world building 101 class, just an entry level understanding, which helps you even just add things to your own world. I totally agree with you about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead,
And
Laura.
no, that's okay. Educators in VR is launching one in September that is specifically designed towards educators and education. It will probably open it up to something more than that if Altspace doesn't step up. I would prefer they'd step up to get a basic intro because that also helps us for bringing in educators and students to teach them how to do that. That they at least have some of the basic language. And so, but Educator VR is launching one in September, so get ready for that. But you're right. This needs to be easier, and the interface needs to be easier. A lot of that needs to be easier, and I love all of your comments. So thank you. That is wonderful. All right, let's do this thing. So that is all. Thank you all for your comments, for your insights. They are wonderful. They help us better understand how the community feels, and we often pass those on to the staff when we have an opportunity. But you also need to do the same. You need to use the altvr.com/support and give your feedback. Use the Altspace VR Discord. Look for the feedback channel. Leave your feedback there. Let them know what you want. They're paying attention. So that is all for this week's news and updates. We do this for you for free. We are not Altspace VR employees. Our team works hard each week to gather the news and information to help our community keep up with everything going on right here in Altspace.
When news that you need to know happens, we share it in our news and updates Discord so you can get the information through the clutter of information out there. Please tell a friend and share our Discord and YouTube channel so others can keep up with the news in and around the Altspace VR community.
Thank you for being here every week to share the latest updates from around the Altspace VR community. We live stream the news onto YouTube every week, and you can catch up with past episodes to learn more about Altspace VR events, projects, news, and community activities.
This is a labor of love, and we love our volunteer team members who help us gather the news as reporters, moderate, and help us put the show together every week. If you would like to join the news and updates team, please let us know after the show. We need every ability and talent, and we'll help train you in event hosting, management, and moderation. This is your show as much as ours, and we'd love for you to be a part of it.
We're going to hang around after the news to answer your questions, talk about what you're doing in Altspace VR, talk to you about volunteering to contribute to this. So stick around. We'd love to chat with you. Don't forget, there's events at the top of the hour, so don't be late for them. And thank you. Thank you.
Thanks to all our news, updates, volunteers, and moderators that help make this event such a success. Thank you. So in these uncertain times, please be safe wherever you are in the world, and see you next week. Same time, same place.
Yay! Thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Laurel.
Yay!